What's up fam, my name is Tech, and welcome to my Mass Effect 3 multiplayer guide for the N7 Fury. I'll be starting by going over the racial passives and then the active abilities. Following that, I'll give you some builds you can try to start off with the class. And as always, links to useful information will be in the description. So what can the N7 Fury do? She has all the standard mobility, melee, and durability. The two exceptions are, much like Asari classes, she can teleport instead of roll, which gives her more distance and invulnerability than a regular roll. And instead of a regular biotic heavy melee, she'll teleport forward and do an AoE blast. Overall, not much to write home about in terms of the basics, but the kit is where the fun stuff starts. The N7 Fury is pretty interesting in that you have at least 3 viable playstyles, and even though each effectively does the same thing well, biotic combos, the way you execute them is unique to each. Its kit consists of Annihilation Field, Dark Channel, and Throw. Since the first two I haven't covered before, I'll go over them real quick. Annihilation Field is a passive ability similar to Tech Armor that has a pretty long duration at 45 seconds by default. While active, it does biotic damage to enemies in a radius around you, ignoring terrain. Enemies suffer effects similar to Warp, minus the armor reduction. All affected enemies will be primed for biotic combos and unprotected organics may panic. It, also like Tech Armor, can be detonated, however it will actually detonate all combos unlike Tech Armor. Dark Channel, if you play League of Legends, will remind you of Malzahar's E. On activation, you afflict the target in your crosshair with a damage over time effect that lasts for 30 seconds. It also primes for biotic combos, and if the target dies while it's active, it will jump to a new target if there's one nearby. It will continue spreading until either the duration is up, you cast it again, or if there are no more targets nearby. Each target it jumps between will be primed once until detonated, which means you can pop multiple combos if the channel keeps spreading. Both of these abilities in combination with Throw, one of the fastest and best detonators in the game, allow you to detonate biotic combos with more flexibility than most other classes. So what are those 3 playstyles I mentioned earlier? The first and my personal favorite is to use Dark Channel and Throw to string detonations together from a distance. Here, I skip Annihilation Field and max Dark Channel taking damage and recharge speed. The final rank is preference. I've tried both. Armor is better for some factions like Reapers or Collectors, but damage can be good against Cerberus and Phantom specifically. Then I max Throw, taking Radius, Detonate, and Recharge speed. The first and last perks can be debated here. I like Radius because sometimes when enemies are clumped, it can be hard to target the correct primed unit. But Radius can help you get your combos more consistently as it will detonate if you hit a target near the primed one. It could also be argued that since Throw's cooldown is so low, you don't need the extra recharge speed, but I like to combo as fast as possible. If you do choose to take Force perks, keep in mind your ability to stagger targets will be increased by a lot. With this build, it's best if you throw Dark Channel on a spawn point or a choke and just throw each target it jumps to. You'll be doing lots of AoE damage while staggering any enemies not killed. The second build utilizes Annihilation Field and Throw to combo enemies much closer to you. Start by maxing Annihilation Field, taking Impact Radius, Damage Taken, and Drain. Impact Radius increases the range of the detonation, but it also increases the range of your damage over time, which is not noted. This means that you can prime enemies and potentially panic them from further away. And Drain will steal damage done to shields and barriers as well as increase the duration to 90 seconds. And though I haven't tested it, I read that if you detonate a target primed by Annihilation Field, you will steal barriers for the damage done for the combo as well, so that can be a great source of sustain. Then take Throw with all the same perks. This will allow you to fight in close range with enemies and you can continually detonate anything that gets close to you. You also become more tanky than you'd expect with Drain. The third build is for those that thought the last one wasn't brave enough for them. Here, instead of using Annihilation Field as the primer, you use it as the detonator. Take Annihilation Field and Dark Channel with both the same perks. Here, you use Dark Channel at a distance, then run near enemies and detonate Annihilation Field. With that and the combo damage, you can kill many enemies. Those that aren't killed should be low health, and Dark Channel will jump to them. You can then finish them off with close range weapons like the Hurricane or the Rieger. With this class, you typically want low weight weapons, so shotguns and heavy pistols are recommended. My 2 favorite are the Hurricane and the Acolyte. The Hurricane covers your close range and the Acolyte deletes shields, one thing this class doesn't deal too well with. It can also be pretty good to have weapons with AoE stagger potential like the Falcon or the Aegis. Not only do they add to the solid CC you already have, but they can prime for combos which you have no issue detonating. You can also get good use out of all the elemental ammo types. Warp is good for making you better at what you already do, and you can take advantage of the biotic damage bonus. Incendiary and Cryo are good at priming targets, and Disruptor rounds help you with the shield weakness. This class is probably best against Reapers given the combo potential and lack of barriers, but it doesn't particularly struggle against any factions. Even though Geth have lots of shields, you can still prime and combo them, and many of them have armor. Dark Channel and Annihilation Field are actually particularly good against Ravagers as they will clear out all the Swarmers. Do keep in mind Annihilation Field can get you killed while dealing with abominations. The best class to pair with this one is one that strips shields effectively without messing up your combo rotation. With that being said, check out my guide on the Geth Engineer. If you like this video, please drop a like so the YouTube algorithm lets other people know this game is still being played, and if you want to pick which class I'll work on next, I'll be putting out a poll soon. Later fam.